Hey there, I'm Jake, and I'm here with Joey for Mangalodon's episode review of My Hero Academia, episode 46. This episode starts off with all the classmates in the hospital room with Deku. Joey, what do you think about this scene?
That's very interesting. There's a few things we can talk about here, and I guess we should probably discuss what happens if you'd like to start that off.
Sure. Well, basically at the end of the last episode, they were talking about how Yaoyorozu, uh, she put the little GPS tracker on the Nomu, which means that they essentially have the ability to find the villains, assuming the Nomu is with the villains. I don't know why it wouldn't be. And so basically, since all the classmates kind of feel like they let down Bakugo, letting him get kidnapped, some of them are like, we could take action and, save him right now. And then the other ones think, well, we should probably just leave this to the pro heroes. Why? I'm sure they're getting on it right away anyways.
I like that it's like Kirishima and Todoroki that are like the only ones that actually want to go do it. Everybody else is just kind of hesitant or thinks it's a huge bad idea.
I do like that the majority of the class is like being rational and be like, why not just let the pro heroes do it? Like, it's not a good idea. And I definitely agree. Like, you know, Todoroki is a fan favorite. I like him a lot too. Got probably the coolest quirks. I also like Kirishima, Red Riot. Uh, spoiler, not a spoiler. I am a manga reader. Joey is not, and I'm a big fan of Red Riot, and I'd love to see him in action. So it's pretty cool to see him kind of be down to go save Bakugo. Obviously, Deku's down because he probably feels the most disappointed that he was like at an arm's length and couldn't do anything to help.
Well, he's up for anything heroic in general, so.
Exactly. And then really the whole linchpin of all this is Yaoyorozu though, because she has to be down to provide the tracker.
Hmm. Of course, Ida speaks out, and he's very, very upset with everybody because he doesn't want to do what happened last time. He doesn't want to break the rules again because he knows how well that ended up for them, and something serious could end up happening. Maybe like not being able to become a hero or something, getting kicked out of the school.
Right. And it's kind of a perfect sequence of events for the writing, seeing as his brother recently went through this whole action of getting permanently disabled and no longer able to be a hero. And now Ida takes it really seriously to, you know, you should leave things to the people who can handle it. And this is really, we know for a fact, and they acknowledge it in the episode that like Todoroki, Deku, like they cannot beat the villains. Sorry, they can't beat them.
And
They have
then,
to just go in and try to avoid violence.
mm, and then Sue has to, of course, mention that villains break rules, and to break these rules would make them like villains. But it's kind of a hard statement to make because these they want to break the rules for a heroic purpose, but at the same time they are breaking rules, and rules are meant to be followed.
Yeah, it's definitely the gray line, but it also fits in perfectly with how All Might always says, you gotta kind of stick your nose in places where it doesn't belong if you want to be a hero. You kind of have to. You're gonna bother some people. You're gonna pass some lines that maybe you shouldn't pass, but it's all part of the job being a hero. And that's the thing that I think the true instinct is to help someone before you really think about it rationally. And that's what some of these guys are trying to do. Do you think that do you think that's even possible for them to do it and avoid violence though?
It depends. I know that yeah, Yao. I can't say her name. Oh my god, say it for
Just
me.
call it Momo. They call her Momo in the show.
Her quirk is it's very useful. I feel like that maybe she can make them like a lot of cool equipment that would definitely help, like microphones and earpieces and things, keep in touch constantly.
Yeah, used right, it could be super helpful for a
She can
mission
make
like this.
like smoke bombs or something as long as she knows what she's making, right? So like,
Hmm.
Yaoruzu is like super very stealthy. I feel also like uh, Todoroki's ability, he could create some kind of fog, a lot of like weird stuff that can happen. So
Yeah, I definitely they have great abilities going into this. Not to mention that Deku still has his legs, so if it comes to like, getting away, I think he's mostly able to do that besides the guy that can make like the warp gates, like the Black Fog guy.
mm. Well, I guess we should talk about how Deku's arms are actually like totally screwed now.
Yeah.
Doctor said that he was only able to do what he did because of the adrenaline rush, and if he didn't have that, I mean, they mentioned a whole lot. Eraserhead said it during the whole fighting that he can only do this because of the adrenaline, but you know, his arms are. What did it say? Like they splintered and stuff, and
They were talking about how like he's damaging the ligaments, which can't really be repaired.
mm,
So he only has, he can maybe do this twice more until his arms are completely useless.
and I mean, as long as he can get powerful enough to control his quirk, he should be fine. But like,
Right. He's on that like borderline where he's like almost able to do it. But I think this just kind of foreshadows that he's going to start having to use his legs or find some other way to do damage.
I could see like a few headbutts coming in.
That'd be sick. And
Uh,
plus, never seen All Might do that. It kind of separates them.
so I guess right after that, the pro heroes are trying to gather, they're trying to build up a force to go use the first tracker to find the hideout and just go all out on it because they had quite a few big names. What All Might and uh,
The Orca guy
Orca.
was Eraserhead part of the group.
No, I don't think he was. I think because he was with the staff.
Yeah, they had one other big name.
What's Todoroki's dad's name there?
Oh, Endeavor,
Endeavor.
Endeavor.
Yeah, they had Endeavor and stuff. So
And those are two like unstoppable
and
heroes.
I think like Gang Orca was like number 10 rate and
Yeah,
they
you've got
had
big
they had what's his face All Might's teacher.
Gran Torino.
Yeah, so they had a lot of powerful guys there.
So this kind of begs the question then: do you think it's stupid that Deku is even trying like to go on his own?
I think it is. Especially,
Yeah,
well, I mean, they don't know the severity of like how many powerful heroes they're actually gathering. Like these are some of the strongest heroes that we know of at this point in time, and a lot of these villains aren't exactly the strongest. Like they're all really strong in their own right, but like I'm
they're
sure
like
there's. Hmm?
they're like upcoming villains.
I'm sure there's a lot stronger villains out there, but I mean the no moves on they're very strong, of course, but other than that, they're just kind of like in my mind mid tier villains.
Yeah, well, it's been proven, since the first arc that the heroes are capable of beating them.
Mm.
And with like the cement guy too, they can like trap him off and like, they just have all the like possible tools ready to save Bakugo. And the fact is that this is the perfect chance. The villains don't know that they're being tracked. So this is the perfect chance to wipe out all of them. And yet, what Deku's doing could be just enough to warn the villains that like, oh, like they know where we are and they have the chance to escape because of Deku coming in.
Compromise the whole mission.
Exactly.
So
So yeah, you go.
then they go to the city. They have a short ride, and then Ida's saying like, "I will end this mission if I need to," and so does your blah 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 blah.
Momo.
I said her name once. That's all that counts. Uh,
Yeah.
but then they get disguises because they don't want to. Because the villains obviously know what they look like, and
Looking back on that scene, it's a little off-putting just because of like the urgency that they brought up earlier. Like, oh, we have to do this ASAP. He's in trouble. But then they take time to get disguises. I get it's important, but and like it's kind of some comedic relief. It is a little bit misplaced to me. It
I
wasn't too bad.
I think Kirishima looked pretty sick in his outfit though. I liked it.
Yeah, I did like the outfits. They were pretty sick, and Deku was funny.
Mm. Then the TV comes on, and it's the interview with the UA staff, and it's Razorhead and the principal there, and somebody else, but it's a little irrelevant. And you get to see all the people starting to turn against the villains or the heroes. Starting to think of them as like the bad guys for not being able to protect their
Yeah, they're definitely
students.
losing. They're losing their credibility.
They don't take it seriously enough that upgrading security and taking more precautions is the best way to go. They just think that, well, you guys are super strong. Like, if you can't deal with it, these villains must be, you know, better than you. And
Yeah,
what's the
usually
whole?
villains are trying to like avoid the heroes usually, but now they can just attack the school apparently.
And speaking of villains, it obviously ends with them with Bakugo. They're trying to, of course, turn Bakugo to the dark side there, and it's interesting because he has that little flashback when they're talking to him about heroes and how they're just not good people and they do it for fame and fortune. But Bakugo just has like a little flashback to where he's a kid watching All Might, and you get to see that him and Deku are very similar. They idolize him, and they're both a lot like him in some ways.
And it's weird because you don't really think of Bakugo as like a spitting image of All Might like you look at Deku. But the thing is, they both come to the showdown with a smile. He looks up to him just he wants to be in the same number one spot. He has a completely different fighting style because he didn't get his quirk passed down directly, but like he's trying to do his best to be like All Might. And it's just cool to see how like Bakugo was like a pretty obvious choice for like who they would tempt to go to the evil side,
Mm.
and yet he didn't think about it twice. He's like, no, like the villains are awful. I'm gonna be this best hero. You guys are scrubs. And it's just cool to see how someone so different from Deku can basically be the same.
Mm. Of course, they let him go very idiotically because they should have learned about how his personality is, especially during those games.
Yeah,
Because
they should better.
but he ends up like kneeing twice in the face, and then he ends up blasting off Shigaraki's mask, which ends the episode. So,
Yeah,
uh,
Shigaraki looked pissed, and like Shigaraki is dangerous, but he's also kind of like immature. You, you really know like how he'll act, and Bakugo kind of pulling in like poking the bear too much. It could be dangerous, but I think that's exactly what Bakugo wants.
mm.
So honestly, I'm just curious, Joey. How do you think if Deku's gonna arrive to the villain hideout first? How do you think it'll go?
Well, they're definitely gonna arrive first. I feel like that's because the heroes are gonna be more strategic about everything, while they're
Yeah,
just rushing in to save Bakugo.
you're kind of
Uh,
defeated. Yeah,
I'm just a little concerned about a few things, of course, but like I'm assuming Bakugo's gonna be fine. He's a favorite character. His power is awesome. It would be a shame to like have anything stupid to happen to him.
yeah,
Um, and again, you mentioned that his power is like the perfect tool for a villain's destruction. So like I'm assuming the shadow guy there is going to be like, well, like hold on, we gotta not do anything too crazy here, Shigaraki, because we can still maybe use him.
right.
Um, there's a few possibilities I think that could happen. They could definitely do some crazy stuff like uh, I know that the guy steals powers to put into Nomu, so like that would be a great power to put into a Nomu or something. So like
Yeah,
they're definitely not going to kill him because they definitely need him alive for a lot of different
yeah.
variations of options. But uh,
Well, it'd be hard to see like if Deku, if Deku gets there and they try to pull off their plan, but they get caught. that's a lot more hostages that the pro heroes are gonna have to plan around now.
And there's
Yeah.
also the possibility of Deku having to do something stupid and like actually just breaking one of his arms completely, or
Yeah.
we'll see.
It's really up in the air, but it's really exciting.
Alright.
What would you give this episode out of 10?
I have a 10. I mean, there's not a whole lot going on. There's obviously stuff going on. There's a lot more information given to you, but there's not a whole lot of action.
Yeah.
I give it like a 7 out of 10, maybe.
Yeah, I'd probably give it 7.5. It's definitely like leaves you wanting more, but not a whole lot happened in the episode.
Yeah, definitely cliffhanger ending, but
Yeah, looking forward to next week.
yep.
Well, anyways, I'll probably wrap up this little review of the episode. We'll probably get back to it next week. My Hero Academia is building up to be really good, and definitely keep watching it and come back to our channel next week to hear our thoughts on the next episode. Thanks for listening.
I'll see you.